Welcome into our afternoon call on Tuesdays. I'm excited about today. I have decided to do a little spin on connecting sugar with digestion. So we're learning how to conquer the sugar fear also, and I'll talk to you more about that. Also, I'm going to take you through an exercise. This exercise is going to get you focused, and we're going to connect with energy because your energy speaks highly of what's going on with your digestion and your energy. So, welcome in. Excited that you're here. Conquer the sugar fear, create energy, and we're going to talk about why sugar damages the digestion. And I'm speaking to myself too. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me and my struggle. This week, I released a video, actually just today. And before I shot the video, I had some high emotions about having to share my story because I think we all sit in our fear of who we are, what we feel we're short in life, and it gets us to the point sometimes we don't want to talk about it. And so, what I want to do is open up that discussion to how you're feeling, thinking about where you are with sugar, thinking about how you feel with your energy. And we're going to talk more about the digestion because that's what our focus is through the season. And just so you know, I'm trying to be as authentic and open through the whole process to being able to really expose how hard it is to relieve yourself from sugar, and that I got it. I got you here because this is something that I've dealt with for quite a long time. So welcome into our Tuesday call. Let's get rocking here. So, if you learn the techniques that I'm about to show you, you'll avoid seasonal weight gain, seasonal bloat, seasonal stress. Now, that sounds really crazy hard. How can we do that in just one call? I'll tell you what, if you do the strategies that I'm going to teach you, you can choose yes or no. And we'll go into that more deep so that your mind gets set into it. You can accomplish anything. Now, seasonal stress that I'm talking about is related with the wrong foods in your belly and the extra stress, the low energy that it brings. Now, through the season, we have other stress, and there's things that happen. And a lot of things a lot of other stressors and things like that. What I'm going to focus on is the food and the seasonal stress with the food, seasonal stress with bloat, seasonal weight gain. And we want to even talk about how to lose 5 pounds. So I want you to go the opposite. I want to empower you today that whatever you imagine in your mind and how you're going to apply what I'm going to teach you in this mini session today, mini class, you can conquer anything. And fear holds us prisoner when we're afraid of changing our foods because it makes us feel good. And we're going to talk more about that because I got you. I got you here. Thank you for coming. All right, stat. People are consuming 60 pounds of added sugar per year. It's kind of hard to think about 60 pounds, but if you had like 30 pounds of weight in one hand, 30 pounds of weight in the other hand, and you're trying to do like a dumbbell press, and you're trying to like bring that dumbbell up, that's a lot of weight, or holding a 60-pound weight. Think about how heavy that is. Think about other things like the average person consumes 76.6 grams of sugar per day. Now, one of my clients I saw this morning, I know for sure she's at least doing 90 to 100 grams of sugar per day because she's just stressed. So we were talking about her alignment and how much sugar that she's comfortable with starting with this week to start making some shifts. And so I want you to go in there for yourself too and think about breads, sugars. We'll go in deeper about where that sugar resides. But are you willing to bring that sugar down to a certain level so that you don't feel imprisoned by it? Because sugar is crazy, it gets a hold of us. So all that sugar, 76.7 grams is 306 calories. So that's just in sugar. So once you start adding your fats that you need, your healthy vegetables, your meats, that 306 calories, if you shave that lower than where it is, there's your 5 pounds. So are you in? Great quote. I got it from a book called Power of Full Engagement, which it totally is. It's all about energy. Managing energy, not time, is the key to high performance and personal renewal. So take it in a little notch here and think about this. Usually we'll do a task list and we'll manage our task list and get things done. Today, even with our exercise, the tail end of this hour with me, we're going to focus in on where your peak energy is, where your lowest energy is. The lowest, I want you to be aware that those are your lulls right now. It can change because we're going to talk about that, but be aware of that so that you can rest at that time. Think about the highs that you have and the energy you have. It's first thing in the morning. If it's right after breakfast, we're going to talk about that. That's where you're going to build your schedule around. Manage your energy, not your time. Tall shoulders, pressing down, tall back, reach the top head of your head up to the sky. Take some breaths with me. Get the mind set, ready to make those changes. Big inhale. And roll the shoulders back. All right. Hang with me 100%. All right, you're getting to know me here. I'm an author. I do blogging and I do some speaking. I've been on Fox 40 and then brought some groups together. I'm thinking about doing some more stuff like that. Sometimes, I just want to take a break because it's so much work bringing people together. But this is how I get information out there about being able to make great decisions like this. So I'm so happy you're here on Tuesdays because it helps bring everybody together so we can start talking about these things that seem so complicated, but we're going to start breaking it down so it's easier to make those daily decisions. So I see myself as a food expert, and it has to do with the connection of even seeing myself as a chef, which I didn't see in years ago. I always thought that I could not cook. I didn't understand how to bring herbs together. And I was afraid to cook. And I still, when I cook, people sometimes will tell me how terrible it is. Because of course, I'm always cooking for everybody that's 100% on board with full health. So it's like getting the mindset that good food is good to eat. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you something about Jacob, my son, the other day. This might have been yesterday. So we were hanging out and Jacob said to me, "Man, I wish we didn't have taste buds." I was like, "Really? That's interesting." And he said, "Because then I would love every vegetable." And I was laughing. It was like, you know what? I think probably 20 years ago, I'd have said the same thing. But the biggest thing to connect with is that good food tastes great. The issue is that our taste buds have been stripped with real heavy foods, processed foods. And then also the cravings of the high salt and high wrong fats. And so we think that bad food for us tastes great instead of the good food that's good for us. So connecting all this, food, cravings, energy, is all about being a food expert. So with food, it really enhances your full energy cycle of your body. So I talk a lot about the organs, and I really connect in with that when I'm working with people. But I connect food and your lifestyle and how your body is moving and where you can be stuck. And so it can be emotionally. It can be that energetically, maybe there's an organ that is stuck. So there may be certain foods that you can eat. Also, you can learn how to do specific workouts based on where you're stuck. So keep thinking about the body as a full energetic system. What you put in your mouth makes a whole cell in your body and billions of cells through your body to be able to make your skin, let the insides keep working, and that's what nourishes your body. So refresh, look at your health opportunity today. So we're looking at some new stuff, and it may be a different mind shift for you because I'm going to go into some areas that may be new. Now, most people I know in my life, they're going to pass on this stuff because they're not ready for it. So if you're in, I want you 100%. You're going to get 5 pounds off you by the end of the holiday season if you are in. So I want to make sure that you're in and we're ready to go. Just a yes would be great too. I have the chat box hopefully on right now. But I want to know, are you in? Are you in on this Tuesday? And this is so great being together during the week of the first big holiday of eating. I know our time is very, very important and special, so I'm glad you're here. All right, the real question is, will you pass it? Will you make sure that the stuff we're going to go through today, that you're really going to listen, connect, and energetically stay within this call so that we can get you moving forward? I'm going to talk about digestion. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about sugar and how sugar depletes your body, so then you can do the exercise at the end and fully get into action. So where do we start? Okay, get to know, is your body absorbing everything? So we're going to talk about energy. That's a good way to see it. What is your daily biggest struggle? Do you have any problems with bloat, fatigue, pain? Now, I have somebody I'm going to talk about today, one of my clients, and she deals with it quite a bit. So it's really good to understand that I'm going to be talking about somebody that actually has arthritis, and arthritis gets affected by our emotions and the food and the cold and how we nurture ourselves. So there's a big combination. But the biggest thing I want you to focus in on what you have control over, which is your food and your emotions, with learning more about yourself. Also, what would you do to get results? Have a breakthrough to energetically open up your body. Today, we're so connected with how much energy we need. You're here because you want to have more energy. You want your digestion to be working fantastic, so your full energetic body will be working and leave the brain fog. So we're going to talk about it. Conquer the sugar fear. We're going to understand what I'm talking about with the fear, and also create energy. Okay, so let's understand why. I'm going to talk about digestion. We're also going to talk about the actions you need to take, and we're going to talk about how to get your gut healthy and a happy life. Right now, though, I want you to understand where I'm coming from, because nowhere in here this hour am I going to say that you're sick. I would never do that, because I don't diagnose people. My whole focus is getting you into your wellness plan. So if I find that you're stuck in a certain space in your body, or that you feel like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm bloating, I'm not directly telling you that there's anything wrong with you. We're going right into the wellness plan and saying, let's take care of it now, because our body is trying to protect ourselves by slowing down the energy. Maybe there's something inside that's slowing the body down because it's trying to maintain itself. So your body's telling yourself, and it actually is a big issue. If you're not dealing right with your energy and you think you should have energy all day and you're being hard on yourself, I want you to take this education today to be able to keep yourself understanding that your body is doing a great job, and that your body really, the energy is connected, that you're stuck somewhere and your body's just kind of going on those low burners so that it can try and keep maintaining itself. And so that's why we're talking about your wellness plan today. Because understand, how to treat your gut is directly connected to a good wellness plan or a bad wellness plan. It can go either way. And so let's talk a bit about when you're even bringing food into your body and how you're chewing it, making sure you're breathing, making sure that you're chewing, because before it goes into your gut, you have to prepare it. So we're going to go in a little bit deeper in digestion in our next section. But the first thing I want you to think about is how much you're chewing your food. Also, we deplete our body by overeating. So we're going to talk about the emotions that can happen with sugar, emotions with eating and overeating, because we want that weight in our stomach so that we deal with our stress better. Because if you're stressed, you want something to nurture you. You want something that is heavy in your stomach, and that can bring anxiety on. And so I want you to be aware of that. Start connecting when the times that you're eating bigger meals, how it makes you feel, and it all means something in a special way. So we're going to bring it together into your wellness plan. But depleting your body is when you're overeating. So if you're going out and you're eating and you're like, oh my gosh, my belly hurts, I ate so much, that's okay off and on. I mean, that happens. But this is not something that should be happening all the time, because it can affect how you're feeling. Bad health gut slows your metabolism, and this is why we can easily gain weight during the holidays. Sometimes we are not eating as bad as we believe we are, but our body starts getting into that space where everything starts slowing down and the energy in the body starts slowing down and the metabolism just goes kaput. So have you ever eaten something and not very much and all of a sudden you just feel like you're stuck, like you can't eat anymore, but you also feel real uncomfortable in your stomach and you barely ate? Well, that all of that has to do with just the types of foods you're eating. So during the holiday, it's the foods that usually we're eating more lard, eating more, I mean, even putting Crisco and stuff. Um, so, it's the bad fats, the extra salt. Also low energy, and then also joint pain comes with really knowing that you're having problems with your gut. I realized that my intestines, in my small intestine, that I'm having issues, and I've had it since I was, for what I know, since elementary school. And it's an interesting story because we sometimes don't know this stuff because I did not feel any pain. And it took years and years of discovery to finally figure out how to maintain my weight, my energy, my skin elasticity. Because if you're really tired, it's hard to have real tight skin. And then, I mean, there's stories about that and understanding that. So it's a whole new section, but all of this is directly linked with your gut and really taking care of yourself because you're not able to absorb nutrients. So the body becomes depleted. This is why too much sugar is going to affect you. So we're going into sugar. So what is too much? So I always go into like how many grams of sugar you should have, and it kind of scares people because I try and stick around 15 grams of sugar a day. When you start looking at how easy it is to have sugar, and by the time you're done with your morning, you've already had your 15 grams. So we live a lot in the sugar stage in each meal, and it's really hard. So what is too much? I'll give you some clues instead of talking about numbers, but when you're starting to crave sugar too much, and so let's say you have sugar at 1 o'clock and it consistently, that clock comes up 1 o'clock every day and you're craving it and you need it because you need it for your energy and you feel like you need that boost and you just know that you feel better if you have it. It might be created with energy. It might be created with anxiety. Too low of energy, too high of anxiety, and you're craving the sugar to help subside the emotions or help boost yourself. And if you have too much sugar consistently, it actually does the opposite for you. So you have to be careful even with sugar because it is a type of a drug. Also, if you're struggling with your weight loss, that's too much sugar because most likely you're bringing in sugar from breads and from milk and from candy, whatever it is. But that's where you're going to be struggling. You're going to be fluctuating with weight gain, weight, and not having much weight loss, and not losing belly fat. So belly fat's an interesting one because there are combination of things that can be happening. But the biggest thing is, as your belly becomes bigger, what happens is it's really connected with your sugar levels too. So it's a direct alignment with what we're talking about today. If you are having too much sugar in your diet, and I'll give you a list here, that your belly is going to be the hardest area to lose weight. This is going to be the hardest because your insulin that has to help you absorb the sugar, it's going to be running all over through the body and the sugar is going to be too high and it bloats the belly. It takes your whole system out of play for even being able to really take care of the natural stuff it has to. Also, if you have low energy, then you're having too much sugar. And you're also worried about cancer. Now, I've been hearing so many people talking about cancer and the cancer scare. But I want to tell you right now, the biggest thing is that if you know the stuff I'm going to be teaching you today and you're applying it and you're consistently making adjustments, you can have your off days. There's no such thing as perfection. So let's put that off to the side. But if you keep working and enhancing your stress level, focusing and knowing how to control that, if you're eating the foods that you know when you're listening to your energy cycles that you have peak energy through the day. You're going to have some natural lulls, but you should not be down in a deep pit and feeling exhausted every day. Once you start getting yourself in alignment, you're going to feel like you know your body more. You're going to be able to listen to it more. So the fear is going to start leaving your mind of the cancer because it's just like anything else. It's chronic disease and it's linked with if you're not feeling good, you start listening to yourself. If you're feeling great and you're getting better and better, and you actually feel like you consistently have energy every day, the fears are going to subside because the fear is one we don't know. So get a handle on that and just get your mind wrapped around that, because even with me saying this, logically you could still be saying, I don't get it. I'm still going to have that fear. So I want you to take the steps today and start enhancing your program. Keep on adding. You're going to see, you're going to really know how to listen to your body. It's going to make it easier to get away from that. Also, are your intestines out of balance? Are your intestines out of balance? Craving sugar is going to show your intestines are out of balance. Also, that you're going to have breaks in your tongue. If you look at your tongue and you have breaks in your tongue, that means that you're basically having some problems with your digestions. If you're drinking too much dairy or eating too much dairy, when we absorb dairy, there's like these special sugars, and it's made for, especially because since babies cannot eat food, and so we need the sugar for the energy, and it's special for the babies when they're young and they need that milk, and also yogurt and all that kind of stuff. So when you're craving that stuff or having it every day, you're going to be having sugars, ups and downs. So you have to be aware there's quite a bit of sugar in milk. Also, if you're craving fruit, fruit is a great option before you transition off of that real intense craving. Enhance it with having the fruit, and you're going to notice as you enter into the big vegetable section that your fruit, feeling like you need a lot of fruit, is going to change because you're going to start eating less fruit. But fruit is important too. But I know a lot of people that will make a morning shake and they'll put tons of fruit in there. And I'll taste it. I have clients that'll come in and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it tastes like a candy bar. And so you have to be careful with how much fruit you have, even though fruit's good for you. Okay, so let's talk about digestion. This is important because this is what makes us happy. So since we have serotonin that gets built into how we absorb our digestion, that hormone serotonin is going to make us happy. That's what goes up to your brain. That's what makes you feel happy, gets you out in the day, makes you feel like you want to do stuff. That actually gets built into the foods that you're eating and how your digestion's working. So about 90% of that hormone is built in from all the food that you're eating and if you're digesting your food. Important to know. Also, if you are having any issues with absorbing your food, you're going to notice that your tongue is going to have like some more cracking in it. You're going to notice if you have a full, healthy tongue and there's no cracks in it, I'd probably get close to saying that you're most likely are getting close to having good absorption. The second thing I would look at is if your tongue pushes into your teeth, because that would be like a bloated tongue, and that tongue represents your digestion. As you change your foods, you're going to notice that your tongue is not going to be as swollen, and that your cracks in your tongue are going to start closing up. There's going to be a big effect on how you eat. So healthy absorption you can see through your tongue. We're going to talk mainly today about energy, and that's going to go in our exercise. Gluten is another thing. I'm not going to go in deep today on this, but I've talked about gluten in a couple of our other Tuesday calls. Gluten is something you have to really be aware of and start listening about energy, and if you've eaten some type of gluten, how you're feeling after that. So it's a good one to think about when we do our exercise today. Also, how many vegetables you're eating, making sure that you're thinking about the meals that you're eating and where you're doing your vegetables. If it's only dinner time, maybe you need to add them in other meals. That's going to go in our exercise today. Also, If you learn these techniques, you're going to avoid quite a bit here. So step in with me. Let's keep going. Now, the general rule applies that doing the bad digestion steps is going to bring on thyroid issues, autoimmune issues, rheumatoid arthritis. I have a client that has lupus. If she stops her soda drinking, she has less inflammation and she has, joint pain. But it's so funny in the way, funny because she handles this and she understands it, that she realizes that she loves soda so much that sometimes I think once a week or something, she has a soda and she deals with a little bit of that pain, but she's been able to link it. So link your pains with the foods that you're eating. And again, the exercise at the end is going to help you. Also psoriasis. Psoriasis is also linked with bad digestion. So breathe, give yourself a moment to think about the stuff that we just talked about. Think about where you are in your health and where you need to probably make some changes, and it's going to go in deeper for you to help. So there needs to be an alignment, and it has to do with your system working in a full energetic system, about your hormones. So if you have your doctor that's telling you that your hormones are off, it's not always your estrogen, progesterone, all that. Sometimes it's that you're not taking time to eat. So your hormones get off balance because of your stress and because you're go, go, go. And it adds even more stress to your life when you keep going and going instead of stopping and letting the hormones do its process for the digestion. We need over 60 hormones from the beginning of our process of digestion, coming all the way down from the saliva that breaks it down to break down our carbohydrates, protein, fat. There's every hormone to do each step and to tell each organ to do what it needs to do. So it's a complicated system. But an alignment would be doing more meditation or focusing on a breathing if you're not a meditator, or if you are, realizing at the beginning of this talk about the sugar, that you want to start thinking about that if you have some hormone stuff going on, connecting how this big crazy system in our body can really come in alignment by learning more about your personal story. Also, your nervous system has to be in alignment. Your nervous system is part of the spine wrapped around there. And so if you have any back injuries, or if you really sit in your back and you're not using your muscles, you need to have a good workout system to really nurture that area. Also, as we age, we lose our height because we're pressing into that area where the nervous system resides. And that's where we get pinches, and that's where we start getting some numbness through our body if we're not taking care of our core. So nervous system has to be taken care of. Cardiovascular system, of course, your heart. In our family, cardiovascular system is an important thing. Men and women, both, my aunts and uncles, my grandmother, we all have things that we need to be aware of because our hearts in our family have had some big issues, and at very young ages. So, but with my mom and me, and even my brother at this point, we haven't had anything related with, heart stuff. So I think we're doing really good. We do have some massive heart attacks. And so you have to really think about that in your family too. And the signs that your cardiovascular system is off would be like I was talking about with your tongue, also with also loose skin, because you know how we were talking about how you have to have good digestion to keep that skin nice and tight. Well, when you're starting to do your alignment, if you're still having problems, you're still having the loose skin, I want you to start asking questions on these Tuesday calls, because we can go in a little bit deeper in this area. So we'll kind of let that sit for today. Also, that your excretion system is working right. So bowel movements at least once a day. More than that is even better. Up to 4 is great. Now, why that is because meal in, meal out. So you're cycling your food. You're not letting it sit in your lower digestive tract too much. That's where you're going to absorb your K vitamins, your D vitamin. Those are important areas for digestion. And a lot of us actually have that area where we're not digesting stuff very well. And we can go and have another class on that. And I could even give you more in alignment, how you can start checking your body to see how all your system is working. Of course, this also all sounds very complicated. But today is the beginning. So I want you to feel really light in your feet and just know that this next stage, we're going to really talk about how to get into those steps that you need to get into to move forward. And I want you to know that we're going right into the terrible immune system time where our immune system is battling, trying to keep ourselves healthy. And so I want you to be aware that the stuff you're going to learn, if you're losing weight and you're getting yourself in alignment, you're going to be stronger than you were last year. And we're going to keep building your immune system by adding new information to you every Tuesday. So today, your first step is understanding we're working towards strengthening your immune system, strengthening your brain and the power, making sure that your mouth is in good condition. So making sure you're going to the dentist, because all this is in alignment with good digestion. Making sure that your emotions are intact as best as they can be. These are times that are very hard through the holiday season. So I want to nurture you for a moment here and nurture yourself too. That give yourself the okay. If you're feeling stressed about something and it's about somebody who's passed on, or you're dealing with some extra stress, I want you to be able to not eat through your emotions. Give yourself time, maybe write in your journal, listen to your emotions. It's going to help with your stomach. It's going to help you lose weight. And you know, when we lose weight, we just feel good. That's going to help align your emotions a little bit better. And allow yourself that space to be sad. There's nothing wrong with being sad. It's another emotion. But you want to keep yourself in alignment so you have control over that, so you don't go too deep. I've gotten to the point where I felt like I was flying from sky to ground and just floating in the air. So I know probably everybody has dealt with some extreme emotion. I don't think we can get through life without having that. But we need to absorb our liquids, carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So Estelle is a great client of mine. She's been with me since the beginning of me starting this business. Just a wonderful lady. The thing I wanted to bring up with her is that we're in a program right now together, and she gets extra support. Life is stressful for her right now. And the biggest thing that she's been able to connect with, she was raised very holistically, and she realized that every time she was at stress peak with her emotions, that the pain in her body was aching so bad because she was just living in stress every day. Hard for her to get away from it. And then she was also eating breads, because there's gluten in breads that really makes us excited about, craving those sugar and bringing more and more bread into our every day or every meal. And so she finds that that's what she's having issues with. So she also, while you're getting yourself in alignment, she's working diligently to be able to lose weight, to be able to feel good through this season. So you have somebody as a case study that we're going to talk about each Tuesday. And by the end of December, I'd love to have her on a call. Actually, it'd be great to have her live. So I want you to do right now to build healthy gut, lose belly fat, stop the cravings, and lose weight. Now, this is your exercise. So what I want you to do is sit tight and strong into your sitting bones, and let's get ready to be into action. This exercise is going to be quick, but it's going to help you think about your energy cycles. So not many times do we really sit down on our own and think about this. So let's start getting into where you need to focus in on your energy. So what part of your day do you have the lowest, not able to focus energy? Where is that? Is it morning? Are you having a hard time getting up and maybe you don't have the enzymes that help get yourself up? Is it after breakfast time? And maybe you might need a snack. We're going to talk about that on the next part of the exercise. Is it lunchtime? Is it dinner time? When's your lowest energy? All right. So before we move on, I want to bring up one thing here. Sometimes we have no energy through the whole day. Then when 6 o'clock and our evening starts up, our energy starts lifting and we start feeling good. And we finally have energy. We're finally going, and then we stay up later than we should because our energy is higher than it's been all day. That sign is that your liver may need a little bit of detoxing. And I would try maybe a little bit of hot water, try a little bit of tea, but I would try and focus on your stress level and really start declogging that liver, because that's a sure sign that your liver is struggling. All right, so what's the lowest part of day? Focus on your energy. What meal do you know that you sabotage daily? Breakfast, snack, lunch, or dinner? Sabotage would be that you're eating bready foods, that you are not having a vegetable during it. So that might be breakfast time. Not eating at all. Make a note here. All right, now to bring this together, and that's how simple it is. We have 1 hour together, quick mini class, but if you take this information and move it forward, your energy can double, because it may just be a little shift that you need to do to declog. So I want you to add a power meal with the one vegetable at your lowest part of the day. So power meal with one vegetable at your lowest energy of the day. Your lowest energy would be usually it's an alignment. Usually an alignment of the foods that you're eating and the foods that you're sabotaging during a specific meal. Then also usually alignment is when you're going to feel like you have the least amount of energy. Now, does that come in alignment? And that would be your meal that you're going to add one vegetable, and you're going to think of it as your power meal, and you're not going to think about any of the other meals. Don't touch any other meals. Do what you're doing. Add a vegetable. Maybe in this meal, if you're doing something bready or you're doing bread, pull that out. So this is a two-stepper here. Add a vegetable. Now, I add vegetables in my breakfast every day, and it seemed unusual at first. So I'm going to challenge you. If your breakfast, you know that you need a power meal and it's breakfast time, I want you to put a vegetable in there. Let's get that weight off. Let's start talking about what if we don't do these steps? Where are we going to get to? We're going to get in a section where we're concerned about cancer. We're going to get in a section where we're going to start feeling like everybody else around us. So many people are lost in the story, lost in their struggle. And so connect with that and make yourself step a little forward today. So ready to unleash tremendous power of healing that lies dormant with you. So we're talking about your energy cycles, ready to restore balance on all levels of your body. I want you to really know that nothing I've shared with you is theory. And I've used every single one of these. And this is why I'm coaching like this, is because I've seen myself get declogged and have energy. I'm hypothyroid. I have problems with energy cycles, but I can't blame everything on the process of that I am hypothyroid, because it's the food and the alignment and listening to yourself when you have your energy is where you're going to be making those changes, and that's where it's going to start healing the process and the energy through your body. So every strategy that I'm teaching you is because I've seen results with it. The one thing I want to take with you today, I'm not extra special, but I'm using resources, I'm using my strategies, and this can work for you too. So how do I get the results now that I've tried in the past to do? You can stay in that area of complication and confusion. Let's make it simple and structured though. All right, so we're in the next section here. Now, if you are feeling that you want some extra help and you're ready to go on with a little bit deeper, I want you to get closer into that you really want to be part of this coaching program. So let me tell you what it's about, and it's focused, extremely focused on 14 days with eating to lose 5 pounds and working out to double your energy. We're talking about body fat. So we can even do measurements around the waist and lose inches if you're afraid of the scale. If it's something that you don't like to do. But you want to double your energy, because the strategies, the two that I taught you today, we're going to go in there deep, and you're going to be having a couple coaching sessions a week. You're going to have a private Facebook group to keep you focused. Also, when you're with me, you're going to work out every day with 1 day off. Every day with 1 day off. You need some nurturing for the body, but that is going to be based on working on keeping the body declogged because you have extra stress around the holiday. You're eating the wrong foods during the holiday. So it's not about perfect eating. It's about once you have that big meal that you know you're going to have, well, how are you going to get yourself back in alignment so you're not afraid of gaining weight? You know you're going to lose weight. Also, if you're ready to learn to eat and decrease the bloat. Now, I have a client in Sweden, and she eats and she gets bloated, and she does not eat a lot, and she does not want to eat a lot because her belly hurts. So we've gone through some strategies together that have really helped her. And the biggest thing is that she focused on her energy, and she focused on the foods that were helping her get through her day. And within a week, she said she was wearing her sexy red dress. So eating can deplete you pretty quickly. Also, we're going to talk about the stress factor. Earlier, I was talking about how stress can be managed. We already have stuff that's going to logically stress us out, but the stuff and the pillars that you put in and the approach and being more logical, not allowing yourself to go into this pile of stress, this is where you're going to learn the strategies. And if you are liking what you're hearing, I want you to go to rondaliebig.com/holiday coaching program, 14 days. So if you're ready to learn weight loss tools to keep weight off permanently, because the tools you're going to learn is all about learning about yourself. You're going to learn how to do stuff that you can make the conscious choices so that you can keep the weight off. And also, for 2 weeks, we're not going to have gluten. So straddling this week with whatever you're eating, starting December 7th, this program starts. Be with me for 14 days. Give yourself that good, strong base so you don't have those cravings, getting rid of the cravings, and stay focused so then you can get past that point. And then you can enjoy the rest of December and the new year and fitting in the clothes that you love, because it's going to give you less stress, because you're going to be able to wear the clothes that you love. I know as women, that makes us so happy when we lose weight. We feel like we're in control. And that's the most important thing, is when we feel like we're just craving sugar and we can't stop ourselves, or we're eating so much, but we know that's depleting our system because we have no energy. So this is all about just getting in alignment, getting your workout in, learn how to do some stress wrangling for yourself, and learn how to eat. Learn how to eat so then you can really eat and enjoy the food that you're eating, and know once you're done, you're still going to have energy. You're going to feel great. The other day, I was talking with my kiddos, and we talk a lot about health, and we get into discussions. And my son said, well, if you could pick a meal that somebody did for you, what would it be? And I started thinking about my old days, because I used to love pasta and breads and all that kind of stuff. But I realized that I wasn't craving that anymore. So take your step into the future, way future, and that you're not craving that stuff. I mean, if you had it, you could enjoy it. So you can have it off and on. But the cravings of thinking, well, what would be the meal that would make you feel good? And then the voices in our head, where we have one voice that usually is fighting over the other voice. One thing is saying, I need that cookie, or I need that sugar. I need it to deal with my stress. And then you have another voice in your head that's seriously logical. And you think, well, if you eat that, you're not going to feel good. If you eat that, you're not going to feel good after you're done. If you eat that, and the list goes on. And those voices battle each other. And when you start having that, depletes your system so much. That's what makes you tired quite a bit, is because you have that internal struggle. So you're learning how to change the taste buds so that you're not craving that food all the time. Not craving the food all the time. That's a big deal. So 14 days of being in this space of learning about yourself. And I've been in the industry for over 15 years. So I'm going to give you tips that I know are going to work for you. strategies that you can ask me. This is not working. Where else can I go with this? Because we're all individuals. I will have an answer for you. And if I don't, I'll ask somebody else in the group because somebody else may have dealt with that. So there's a lot of great resources. So you're getting your Facebook group, you're getting coaching, you're getting templates to help mental focus. You're going to have printouts to help you stay focused on what your goals are. You're going to set goals. It's only going to be 14 days. You're going to be a rejuvenated person. I know people who have lost 10 pounds within 2 weeks. So let's connect that. It's easy to lose weight once you figure out what's making you bloat. Here it is. So if you are ready, I want you to sign up. We're going to start December 7th. It's all virtual. So you don't have to physically be anywhere. You can be working, and we're having the coaching calls. You can listen to them after work. You can go into the private Facebook group, ask questions. You can hit reply on the emails. You can ask direct questions. But I want you to go to rhondaliebig.com/holiday-coaching-program. Starts December 7th. Love for you to be part of it. So I want you to step in. And that's about it. That's what I have for you. So we are almost for a full hour, but we didn't get there, which is great. Okay, so the information that you learned today, I want to make sure that you start making your changes right now. If you're going into the holiday coaching program, I want to make sure that you know that have big meals, and don't do it throughout the day. Make sure that you have one big meal and you're enjoying everything that you want. Then the strategies that you already learned today is going to start getting you ready for the holiday coaching program. Once you're in there, your mindset will be ready and you'll start setting your body in a good space, in a real good space. All right. So you have an insightful day. I want you to head over, sign up for rhondaliebig.com/holiday coaching program. If not, I will catch you again on a next Tuesday. But I would love to catch up with you on this holiday program, and we will catch up next Tuesday. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and you have a great day.